Hi guys, I'm hi. um, I was filming. I just started, and my Pinterest screen came up. And I was like, "Can they see that?" And so I stopped it and deleted it, and so I'm starting over. I don't think you can see that now that I think about it, but I don't know. To be on the safe side, I felt like I should. I don't know, just started, and this one is well, it won't go out. You won't see it then, but it's Christmas Eve tonight. And so I have a dark green sweater on. It's very warm and cozy. And I'm wearing pretty earrings that my roommate goes to her earrings every once in a while and tries to get me to take them. And I've gotten some nice earrings from her. And these, I kind of like the gold, coppery, and sparkliness to it. It's like a snowflake. Very fancy, a drag snowflake. And so I thought I'd wear those tonight, and now I'm covering them with my hair, but just because they have a little sparkle. Um, I was going to do this video just to kind of talk about going into the new year. I'm not going to make a big deal about it, except that it's going to be hard for me. I know it is. I'm already melancholy, and it's Christmas Eve. And in fact, I have been, because I was taking a break from IG, only posting when I had a new video um, to announce or to share. And, but with the holidays, I still feel, even though, and maybe it's because I don't celebrate like most people do anymore. I don't buy gifts. I very rarely, no, I really don't buy gifts anymore. Well, now, this, I did give that to my roommate, but meaningful gifts, things like that. And so when I do gift, it's something meaningful, like, yeah, Libel's very meaningful. She let me pick her up like a baby last night, not once, but twice, and that is good. And, but I've been, like I said, I've been posting funny, I hope, and sweet and peaceful, I hope, stories on my IG account, as much for me as for anybody else. Um, I feel like I'm still expected to revel like other people revel in the holiday, but it's rough for me. I don't have anything I'm in contact with, so not that I am not grateful and don't love my friends, especially my friends who are like family to me. And it's just I can't be with. Though I was with G a few weeks ago, so is that just a few weeks ago? That had to be like a month ago, which is not much further than a few weeks ago. But anyway, but still, it's a once a year treat, which I'm very grateful for. Um, I was recounting that last day. That last day, the two of us. Well, we got snippy at each other at the end. I know I got snippy. We were just so tired. Anyway, that's in a previous video. These are probably all going to get smushed up together because I have two episodes, 22 and 23? I think that's right. And it's taken 6 days for them to upload. So I wrote them a nice little note. I've written them many times just saying my videos aren't uploading. Please help. Thank you. But this time I said, um, I understand that there's priority given or preferential treatment given to those who make money for YouTube, who have the most followers, that sort of thing. I understand that. Um, but you need consistency, or consistency is a big part of that. If you have to become a you have to produce consistently and have it be seen consistently. So it's harder for people like me, especially because I have no budget, that are trying something out, and seeing what, throwing things out, seeing what sticks. Such a lovely image. Something slimy. When not intended that way. But, you know, if you don't give newer people a chance to, that's all I'm saying. And like I said, I understand it's money. But let me tell you, I finished the more beautiful world our heart sends possible today. And I wish I could read to you the last bit, the last little story he writes. I would love to get that gift to all of my friends. I can't afford to get that gift to all of my friends because I would want to pay the full price. You can pay what you can, or you can read them for free on his website. He offers them for free to read, digitally. And I think that's pretty wonderful. Remember where I talked about that copyright thing? Yeah, that's where I got it from. And anyway, so it's Christmas Eve, and happened to be my free day today. And so I was going to drop laundry off, but I got up at 8 and thought, nah, I can make do. I can make do. I just didn't feel like, especially because I had to pay copay for medication because I'm behind on my Rasuvo. I don't know how much of this was my fault but I've been without it for over 2 weeks now. And so, thank goodness I have extra, steroids, uh, prednisone to take. And I also bought Advil. So I was taking 4 Advil and 4 prednisone. And of course, my psych meds. And I do take like half a gummy in the daytime because it helps with the pain, joint pain, and also it eases my anxiety and stress levels, which also take a lot out of me. And so there. And I'm on gummies tonight. I made sure I was very good. I got all my errands run by, most of them run by Monday. And then I went and ordered a Christmas dinner to be picked up tomorrow. And I'm very excited about that. We're going to have a lovely time. And I'll link the place down below. And I'm so excited to eat their food. I've always wanted their Delise and Saracens at their place. I don't know if I put them down below or not, but I'll try to remember to put them down below. It's been enough just getting videos uploaded, and I haven't gotten to to worry about the bio right underneath it. I'm sounding really like bitchy. Like I said, the holidays aren't all fun and games for everybody. I'm just trying my best. This season has, and I don't celebrate. I don't do gifts anymore. I don't send out cards. Well, I did last year, like 5 cards because I had those lovely Farm Sanctuary cards, and I decided to use them. But I only have 2 of those cards left. I think I only have 1 stamp left, and so I'm just going to send digital Greetings. My dear friend Elle called this morning, and so we had a lovely chat. And she brought up a memory that I had completely forgotten. How could I forget that story? Oh my gosh. My first time, besides living on campus, living on my own, I decided to try small town life. I think my stepfather, my mom's second husband, at the time, he was a really excellent like woodworker. He made beautiful furniture and had anyway. So he had a nice, not studio, but workshop, and you could tell it was something he truly loved. He also used to like slap us on the ass and then walk around in his bikinis in front of teenage girls, which is, I think, inappropriate now, but funny. All these years I was like, I felt safest there because he only did that. And then I thought, wait a minute, Lisa. That's not right either. So I really never I felt like I couldn't say anything. So I didn't feel safe there either. Anyway, because of that. It's weird, but I want to like protect him too because I know he seemed to be the only one who treated my mother the most powerful way she'd been treated. I think he loved her the most healthfully. Obviously, my dad didn't love her at all. He raped her. And pretty much destroyed her life to save his own. And then the third husband, who I may have prompted to having a stroke by telling him off, is basically marrying her dad, who was a drunk. And he's a drunk. So, you know what I'm saying? Even though she never met her biological father. She may have seen him because I believe that she stayed in contact. He had several siblings. And then he remarried and had several children. So it's like I have all this family out there, but no family at the same time. When I was on that 23andMe, I reached out to people on his side of the family, and no one responded at all. So I doubt I'll ever, know any more to that besides what I know from my mom, and I think my nana too. She mentioned some stuff too, but that my mom said it was proof enough for me too. Anyway, wow, going deep on Christmas Eve. Well, and just because I'm feeling already, like I said, a little melancholy, so I have my herbal chai. I'm trying to post cute, hopeful, beautiful, Christmassy, funny Christmassy stuff, holiday stuff. Like I said, I'm just to keep this like little ember within me. I know it hits hard, and anyway, so I had to make my gummy run before, so I got that done on Monday. That was one of the things I got done. Oh, and I also, as much, we're imperfect people, and no matter, I have meditated a lot, not as much as many other people, I'm sure, but sometimes you're just gonna crack. And this was a pretty innocuous way, or not, is that the right way? This is a pretty not horrible way of like, I don't know if it was retribution or just like, I just broke. I wouldn't usually do that. I think I yelled at a driver once. since I moved here. And it's because they're always they're always going through lights. They're always running, what's the word? Running lights. And even on turns. And they're honking their horn even though you have the little walk sign. So what was I talking about? Anyway, I totally got off the thread again. Oh, so I moved to Pennsylvania, an area where they were thinking of him designing, and building a log home for them. Now that never transpired, and my mother left him. Her husband number 3, the drunk, like her dad, not her stepfather, her dad. Anyway, but I had the bug in me, and anything, of course, to get away without truly, severing relations with my family. I was just running. I just kept running to new places to see what felt like home. And of course, because I was still so unhealthy and not healed at all, or even aware enough to know how bad off I was. A mixture of all of that. And feeling like that I just didn't have capacity or the ability to do that. It just never even crossed me. Anyway, I decided to move here. And I lived in this house that was converted into 4 apartments. And I worked at a family-run business, Hanover Lantern. I realized pretty quickly that life in Hanover was not the life for me. But, it was an experience. And one of those experiences was that my friend Elle and Stephanie, from my childhood dearest friend, came up to visit and either stay overnight or the weekend, because they could stay at my little place. It was a cute little place. When I look back now, it looks like the scene of a horror movie. It does. I'm sorry. But, yeah. Anyway, I realized, so I moved. But anyway, while they were visiting, one of my coworkers there took us to a bar. And I was only reminded of this story because Elle called today, which is a huge Christmas gift to me. She was like, I'm sorry I didn't get you anything here. Like, first of all, and this is another story too, she got me a coffee card, a Starbucks card. And that's another story. Oh shit, no, I can't remember the story I was on to begin with. Oh, so she takes us to this bar, and they happen to be filming that film Gettysburg with Matthew Broderick and I think Denzel Washington. I can't remember who. Is that a Ron Howard film or a Steven Spielberg? Anyway, whatever. And so there were a lot of extras dressed like Civil War gear at this bar, and of course we got drunk, and I said, I'm sure I was drunker than you, and she goes, you were. And she says she remembers, and I'm sure these weren't all young guys. I mean, they were guys of differing ages. I feel sure of that. So it probably wasn't particularly safe thing. But thank goodness there were the 3 of us. But Elle told me that she was dancing with one of the Civil War, not the actors, but one of the extras from the film extras. And they were dancing close enough that she felt his reaction. Sorry, Elle, I had to be told. And see, I would have remembered that. I believe I would have remembered that. And I'm sure that's why that is indelibly. It is tattooed on her head, in her head. You know the other word I was trying to say, but gummies are making that an unattainable goal at this moment. But yes, I can't remember how that night ended, except we were young. I was in my early 20s. It was, and then I did that for a year, and then I moved back to Maryland, and you know, it just kept like ping ponging along. That's kind of like what I've been doing. Man, I'm trying to learn that I am my own husband. And I know that sounds so like condescending when there are people living on the streets. And I've also been homeless, so I am that is no slight to that. Now I don't even know where I was going to go. But it's really terrible this time of year. That's also part of it. You know, I've been trying to walk more to work or walk home from work more. Save money on the train and get exercise. And see, it's hard to, it's everywhere, but it's really hard to see the same people. And then you stop seeing them, and then there's new sight people, and you see them day after day after day after day. And I just feel like, I'm like, first of all, I'm like, why do I just keep passing by? You know, I'll, in my mind, or sometimes I'll even like murmur it as I walk by. I say, I wish you housing and healing or peace, love, and healing. It feels so inadequate. When what I really want to do is like scream into the streets. Why are we all like just walking by this? Who told us this was all right to do? And I think I must have listened up in the video prior to. But it just, so, you know, the holiday season is just, because, yeah, I don't have family, and this is very family oriented, like, you know, pretty much all of our holidays are very family oriented. Yeah, the nostalgia factor, and make the big bucks, and sell all the stuff. And I did it for many years myself. Until my divorce. And then I said, no more. And I would much rather, like, unless it's something very special like that. Now that's like because I love her so too, so I want to honor her. But there's a lot of red in the apartment, and she was wearing this beautiful red bow. She puts her in different bows, seasonal bows, as we know. And my artist friend Milana, she made the flower, her bow, mesh really well with the pickup on the red that was in the I'm not sure too much as in the tablecloths. She has lovely tablecloths too. And there's always red in them. So she picked that up really well. Anyway, and I've done that a couple times. Like I said, I did that for my friend, not to her, but for her two dogs. Peaches and Mochi. And Mochi. See? Anyway, two adorable best friends. And Joanna did a lovely portrait of them as well. And so I have one little portrait. I'm not going to reach for it right now. That one of my mom's friends did. It's very small, but it's lovely. I wish I had the little anvil, not the anvil, but the little, you know, the thing you set print paintings on. What the hell that's called? I used to have one of those for that, but with all the moves, or what the hell, it could be in my closet. I don't know at this point, but probably not. But it sets. I have a little ledge on my window, a little extra ledge, so I sit her there. And it's from a favorite memory of mine too. Of her. We traveled with her, not very far, but we stayed at my ex's family. Their parents had a place in Virginia, or West Virginia. I can't remember. But it was in the mountains where they were skiing, and it was a lovely place. And I think we went up there once, the three of us, Sadie, Sable, and who was my first adult cat, and she was my ex's cat when we met, and then she became our cat, and loved her dearly. She's one of a kind. And anyways, my mom had her friend make a lovely portrait from a picture we took of her, where she, because you know, cats can, it's very disorienting for them to go to a place with completely foreign smells, and it was a nice sized house. Um, Definitely bigger than our one bedroom apartment. It had floors, you know, and then my favorite part, because I don't ski, um, is it had a sunk in like living room with a fireplace with like wall of windows. That was my cup of tea. And of course, Sable loved that too. It was like one of those U-shaped built-in sofas, and then it had a lovely wooden ledge, wide wooden ledge above it. And I'll show it to you sometime, but she was lounging on that ledge. She loved that ledge. Um, Love you, Sadie. You're the best. Never forgotten. I remember all. I do like my animal mantra, my AM animal mantra. Most mornings, like every time I take a shower, I do it. And if I try to remember to do it at nighttime, if I haven't taken a shower. It's just kind of part of my shower routine. I think it's nice. And then of course, sometimes because I wear little pictures. At times, I'll look down and see little faces, and they just make me happy. And you know, I know they watch over me. As I feel totally comfortable as an atheist saying that. I don't know if other atheists would agree, but um, they can, whatever. Science isn't everything. Seriously, like I said, read some of his books. Um, he's not a guru, believe me, in any sense of the term. I mean, you can get he's giving his books away for free digitally. So, and he's been on Ritual. Check him out on Ritual's podcast. And he has his own channel here on YouTube. Plus he's on Instagram, and he's always giving, going to talks. And I think he has a new program started now too. And check out his website. It's linked in the bio if you're ever interested in reading his books. It helps me a lot because I've been carrying a lot more anger this time around. Like I said, I think it's because the Klonopin isn't high enough. Seriously, so we'll just need to be on Klonopin and at a higher dose, because and it's you know and I get enough that I can take an occasional extra one, but I think I need to have at least one extra one, if not two, each day. I bet if I did just one extra one each day, that would make I think that would make a big difference. They're just so scared about it now. And I mean, I understand that, it's whatever, it's a serious drug. You can get addicted to it. And I was addicted to it because you can't, it's habit forming. So, It's impossible not to. Well, it's impossible. Maybe some people have some gene that makes them impervious to withdrawal symptoms. I don't know, but that was not my experience, and I did it very responsibly with my psychiatrist, and followed all of the rules. And it's so I've been through. I'm sure I haven't been. I'm sure it was nothing like heroin or crack or meth or whatever, or alcohol for that matter. It's a drug. People tend to forget that. It's jet fuel. And yes, I still have some occasionally. Only on like celebrations, which is basically the last couple months, 2 months of the year. Maybe July 4th, like during the summertime. If like my roomie and I go out to a restaurant and have a treat, like a margarita or something like that, I'm good into that. Or a nice summery vodka cocktail. Yeah, that's my thing. I like vodka cocktails, but they're so expensive, and I don't want to bring alcohol to the house for myself. I got my gummies. They don't give me the bad feeling when I wake up in the morning. I know some people can get hangovers. They call them gummy hangovers, I guess. I don't know if that is a technical term, but in layman's terms, but I've never experienced that. At least I don't think I have. I think I just have my usual dread of, oh god, I gotta go to work. Isn't that horrible? That's what capitalism does. It makes you wake up for the vast majority of people on this planet. Most everybody in the United States. Yeah. I think I said it. Oh goodness. Anyway, so I'm gonna try to keep it light. I mean, we're off tomorrow, and then we're back at work. So it's not like I have this huge holiday. But I thought I might stick to a light, though it's gotten good reviews. And I'm a sucker for a picture book. And it's a Dale's Detective Series, David Mystery. So it takes place in Yorkshire. I'm an Anglophile. I'm mostly English. And I loved All Things Bright and Beautiful, that show about James Herriot. It's a wonderful show, and the books are wonderful as well. And that was in the Yorkshire Dales too, I believe. And so that just holds a place in my heart, because that show was very one of those warm, cozy shows. There may have been a little more like farm life than I wanted to see, but the acting and it was just so well done, and it made the Yorkshire Dales just a show to me. Anyway, I love anything English. I mean, you know what I mean, like the cultural stuff. I don't even know most of the cultural stuff, but I love a good British mystery. And this looks like a cozy one, which is about all my brain can take right now. And I thought I'd do my thing right, because I've actually been reading a lot, or let's say finishing a lot of books that aren't as easy to read. Now, I mean, it's not that this wasn't easy to read, but it was, and I hate to say dense, but it just made me rethink a lot of things. So I paused while I read, and I reread, and I think that's a good thing. So, but now I'm going to take a little Yorkshire Dales break. I think it's a duo, maybe. What does it say? I can't read right now. But anyway, it looks cute, right? Because I still have to finish, and I figured this reading, I've been kind of putting these books off because it's been the holiday season, and I already struggle enough with the holidays that I didn't want to like be angry, or rage and anger together. I didn't need to increase my low rage ball that I have here. So I had set this aside, but once the holidays are over, I want to finish this because what I did read, I enjoyed, but then I had to take a mental health break. And then I absolutely am reading this because, oh, that was my other story. Uh, Walking to work, I I was early, so I ran some errands. Like I said, I ran errands, so I wouldn't have to do it later this week when it was going to be tourists and last minute shopping, and that's so not my vibe. And crowds and stuff. So anyway, I walked to work after running my errands to get all my stuff done ahead of time, and I was like, oh, I'm going to stop because I have this Starbucks card, and since I'm early, I'm going to get myself a Starbucks. My friend gifted me that, and much appreciated. It is much appreciated, especially because um, waiting at a light, and I know at this light there's a left turn green arrow, but a lot of tourists don't know that, and of course a lot of New Yorkers know it and don't care. But I just want the awful traffic to just go, get the fuck out of here. I'm over it. I know because this book is out, this podcast about it, it's got a lot of talk, and my friend T at work, he's all into this and wants to get them to speak. And now see, because this is what I want to do. I want to have a podcast, and there are possible ways for you to do that without a heavy or any a lot of money output. But it's finding someone who will do that with me, and then deciding, is it going to cover a lot of subjects, or is it just going to cover, or is it going to be just like an interview style, or what? Do I want to do basically Bald and Beautiful? But I could do it. I was trying to come up with names like, because one of my friends, she and I would be great. She and I'd be great. She's young. She's living her life. She didn't have time to do a podcast with me. But I did ask her once. Maybe I'll ask her again. Who knows? Once a week. Once a week. That's all I'm asking. And it can be off the cuff. Just like the Chicks in Cocktail. We twin with them. Heavily twin with them. She would be my number one pick. Number two would probably be my friend T. First of all, because he knows the equipment and can help me also. I would like to learn how to do that as well. And he and I share a lot of similar interests too. And so it'd be nice to have someone, they're both interesting avenues that I am thinking about. But anyway, so then I'm going to start into getting angry again with these books. So finish What's Wrong with Men, because this has holds on it, so I'm not going to be able to renew it. And I want as many people to read this freaking book. So anyway, I'm waiting at this light, and I'm looking forward to. I'm going to get a gingerbread latte with oat milk and light foam. And waiting at the light that has the green left arrow. And of course, people are walking in front of it after it's turned green. This white man of indeterminate age, probably 40s or 50s, window rolls down, and he yells out something like, "Motherfuckers, can't obey the fucking signs," or, something, like that. Something in the vein of that, right? But the thing is, he's caught my eye while he says it. And who knows, maybe he was looking at me too. But I hadn't done anything, and before I could fully process it, that it probably wasn't, you know, uh, truly directed at me. I was just in the line of his verbal fire and abuse. Um, I said I yelled at him. I didn't do anything, you asshole. And I said it much louder than that. And I didn't hear any comeback. Um, and nobody around me said anything. I was hoping maybe somebody would snicker, there'd be a little. But New Yorkers are a tough crowd, you know. Although these may have been mostly tourists, and I just like scared them. I don't know, but it just came out. I was like, "Fuck you, dude! You're the one causing the air pollution, the noise pollution. You're the one that makes us have to wait after light, and we need to get you the fuck out of the city." And so that, like I said, I had that blip, and just he was a white male driver, one person, as is mostly the case in the city, one person in a car, unless it's an Uber taking somebody somewhere. But this has to stop. The cars have to stop. You have to stop the cars. So I wish if I had thought about it. Well, the only thing is, if I had thought about it and thought that, look, he wasn't, I don't think it was really directed at me. We just like our eyes caught, and not in a romantic way whatsoever. That all must have just come to the fore because I'm pissed about it. And I'm not the only one, obviously, who's pissed about all the cars and all the destruction they cause. Cars are so dangerous, and they cause so much unnecessary harm to this world. Seriously. Anyway. And then, but to lighten it up after that, just a tad, I saw this book and I said, I have to read this. I don't have sex anymore. It may change, but I got it very seriously. I'm not looking. And I'm not really interested. Like I said, I can do it myself. But I thought this was still a very interesting premise. And so it's called Why Women Have Better Sex Under Socialism and Other Arguments for Economic Independence by Kristen R. Godsey. And so, I don't know, certainly haven't shown you the book, but I may have like mentioned this before. Or maybe not. I could be totally delirious right now. But I think I'm going to save this one for last. So I think I'll get more enjoyment out of this one. The life out of cars will make me make me self-righteous, and rightly so. I think it is well, we'll look up the word righteous, what righteous is supposed to mean, and now we always click on self-righteous, like they're like interchangeable. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so and I still have to finish Richard II, and I have a few other books, but I have been reading some books and enjoying them very much. Now I want to read, and I put a couple of copies, different editions on hold for Little Women, because I thought that would be I'm trying to read seasonally now too. Well, at least in my fiction, and which I'm reading again. So that's a good thing. I don't really do resolutions, except to always just try to be better than I was the day before. Or not better, but be kinder and be more mindful and be more present. And it's a constant struggle because, like I said, I call that guy an asshole without a moment's hesitation. And I sounded like a New Yorker, a white-haired, and I had my hat and everything on. I was all bundled up, and I just yelled it out. I don't think he was expecting that. I hope I surprised him. It surprised me. It really did. It came out, like I said, before I could like I said, I'm an intense person. I'd say, I was taking one for those guys, even though that pisses me off too. You got to be aware of your freaking surroundings. So take out your fucking earbuds. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah's over. Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year, because it's probably come out in New Year, as long as it's been taking to get them uploaded. I just try to reflect on, and I know that sounds very New Agey, but you know what? We need a New Age. We really do. The hippies really were onto something. It just, you have to read this book. And his other books, they explain much more eloquently and with more scholarship than I do. But what we're so capable of, that it's been like ripped out of us in a very, like slowly tearing a piece of paper. Oh, and I read this article. Well, I didn't read the whole article, but it's a Grist. I started following Grist. They're like independent news source. Now they're very new to me, but they had this very interesting article, and I'm going to forget what it was about. No, I'm not going to forget what it was about. It was about, and I'm going to post it on IG come like January. I'm going to just post stuff I like, and it's not, doesn't mean it's going to end up on the show or whatever, but I'll try not to, and because I don't want to, because I can already feel the stress of having, because I'm doing it a lot for myself to try to keep, but then I'm also like trying to make myself feel a way that there's no rule I have to be a certain way. I mean, I certainly don't want to be cruel to anyone or be mean or isolate or anything like that. I love certain aspects of this holiday. I like just being with friends and sharing a meal together, and that's all lovely. And so I listen to some pretty music and maybe getting some playtime in with the CEO. She can make herself available. This time of year, all CEOs go off to their vacation homes, wherever they could possibly be. The only thing that comes to mind, because of where I live, is like the Hamptons. And the Hamptons holds no appeal for me, and I'm sure they're perfectly fine with that. I probably hold no appeal for them. Not that it isn't absolutely gorgeous; it's absolutely beautiful, but it's just when I say too rich for my blood, I mean that more than just like a monetary sense. But the monetary sense kind of gets to me too. But it's just seeing all this like land getting eaten up, on these sprawling estates for these rich white people, mostly white people. Where am I? Ooh, I should probably. So yeah, it's going to be a rough winter. I made another smoothie. I have to make another smoothie. Oh, I've got a little bit left, and I have to make another one. And I'm having my herbal chai, and then I'm going to have some lemon balm. I need to do some more of my cardio, and maybe watch, because I was looking for good, like, not, doesn't have to, because Christmas, by the time this comes out, Christmas will be over, but still have a kind of have a wintry feel to it. And I was trying to pick only movies that just didn't appeal to me, but ones I'd actually seen. And of course, Coming to America, if you need comedy as we head into this new year and whatever it brings, and whatever we face together as a union, as United States, and I have watched that. It's been a long time. I probably haven't seen it since I watched it the first time. But plus it shows New York City weather in pretty accurate terms. And much needed humor. That's what I wrote about that one. And then there's Cool Runnings, and I've forgotten about that. That was the Jamaican sled, you know, tobogganing. Those what kind of sledding competition, you know. And that's with John Candy. And if anyone could light up your life, it's John Candy. He just had that special something. And those are always, they seem to be a lot of times the ones that figure out the fastest. And I know that's really corny, but I'm getting older and I really, you know, that's young, you know. And here I am, someone living with chronic suicidal ideation, where it's just always there. It's like a tab open. I just always had that tab open in my brain computer, in my brain. That tab's just always open. I might not be in that tab, but it's always open. And so I find that, and you can make whatever you want about that. I don't care if you think it's bullshit or whatever, but I know what I feel. And with the I was talking about John Candy, losing people's success. See, I'm getting off track. So, it's getting close to that. All right, so and there's also Groundhog Day, because that could take you into January and February, because of course that movie. I mean, Groundhog Day was a great set piece for the story. It was chosen very well. It was like the perfect kind of holiday for this type of comedy that Bill Murray does so well. Everyone was great in that. Remember Chris from Schitt's Creek and what was his name? You know, Roland shit. What was his name? Chris. I'm sorry, dude. I can't remember it off the top of my head. I don't want to look at the screen right now. But that lovely actress. Oh, whose name I can't remember right now. She was a model too, and is a model. Actually, she has gone gray too. Andy McDowell. She has gone gray too, and she is absolutely stunning. Hers is very much like a highlighted gray. Now I haven't seen she's not as her hair isn't as white as mine. It's got more of the dark undertones that I have just in the back of my hair, which you can't see from here. But my friends notice it. They're like, Lisa, sometimes I'll put my hair up in the summertime because it gets hot. And they're like, Lisa, your hair is dark under there. And I say that, I know. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. So, but I've always loved her hair. That's why she gets spiral cones, because I wanted Andy McDowell's hair. And I was never going to get it. Spiral cones. At least with the care I gave it, which wasn't that much. You know what I'm saying? I think I only got the spiral cones while my sister was styling hair. And so I could get it either she could do it for free or greatly discounted or something. So I know I did pay for some. But anyway, I just fried my hair. And like I said, her hair, I'm sure, is beautiful. Well, I don't know. Maybe her hair just dries that beautifully. This is how my hair dries, except I combed it today. With my lovely wooden wide teeth comb. And I don't even comb it every day. It's usually I usually do it like midweek and then right before I wash my hair. I'm washing it every week, now that it's much shorter. I'm sorry, I am being total monkey girl over here. I love to watch them do that. We are so, and see, my friend does that to me at work. I think I mentioned that before. She picks the gray hairs because I shed all day, and she just happily cooks. And I've mentioned this before. She's like, yeah, I like little monkeys, and we actually are, and we're destroying those monkeys' homes and our homes, not realizing how connected we are. And it's really, really sad state of affairs. If we only knew that we didn't know everything. There's a lot of wisdom out there that has been burned and buried and hidden away, and blood, I'm sure, in forceful ways taken away. See where I am? I'm not. This is gummies. This is me being Serenity. I'm doing the Serenity gummies. I got those this week, so I forget anything this week. Because when it was only Tuesday and I was already all peopled out. It's just, there's a lot of tourists. There are a lot of tourists, and I have been tourist here too. And it just, after being around people all day, and especially if I walk to work or walk home from work, I'm extroverted. Like I said, I'm an extroverted introvert. When I've had my fill, and it's usually before my day is done. But I have healthier coping skills for that, or I try to employ those coping methods to lessen that. Look at me with my mug. I'm really getting from sanctuaries and screen time, and that's fine. You don't have to pay me for that. It would go. I hope I just don't make myself cough. I think that's an RA thing. Like I said, I've been on my RA medication or one of my RA medications for a couple weeks now. And I won't get it until the 30th, so thank goodness I'm just going to focus on the fact that I have meds that can manage the pain until I get on it. And that is no small thing. Anyway, did I pick any others? But then I saw The Apartment. And it's on my to-watch list. I think it's on Canopy. And they talked it up so well. This was, I think, Harper's Bazaar, one of those, one of those Marie Claire 45 best winter movies to watch or whatever. It's Marie Claire, or I didn't do the Forbes one. And anyway, it doesn't matter which one it's on, but you can check those out. And I was like, damn, I gotta watch The Apartment. And it takes place in like late December into, I think they said it ends on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. And so I may watch that tonight because I don't think I've ever seen that. But I love Jack Lemmon and I love Shirley MacLaine. And the storyline, it just seems, I think this is the type of film I need tonight. And so I will mark that down as my film of the week. But it could be, I also thought Bridget Jones's Diary. None of the other sequels have ever lived up to the original. And I think I only saw the first sequel. I couldn't do any, and that, no. Right. I know why people do it, but it just, I couldn't get past the sequel. I know there was a newer one that came out. I don't know if that was a third. The first one is great, I think. It's Renee Zellweger at her futsal best. I mean, and she pulls it off. She pulls it off without being like pathetic. You know what I'm saying? And not all of us can do that. And she's like one of the more like authentic seeming characters in films. You know what I'm saying? Of course, she had fabulous. I mean, I would have died for her Apartment, as tiny and everything as it was, whatever. And her life, she had lovely friends. It's just a feel good, wonderful. So I wouldn't be all upset if you chose Bridget Jones's Diary. I think I own that film, so maybe I'll watch that tonight. And then I decided to pick, you saw my title pick for this episode, and it sounded wintry to me. It's one of my favorite songs. It's absolutely beautiful. And actually, Heart does a great cover of it. They did it, I think, year anniversary of 9/11, because the song's about New York City. And Nancy Wilson, no, Ann Wilson sang, and Nancy sang backup. Oh no, I'm sorry, Ann sang backup, and Nancy sang lead vocals, and it's absolutely beautiful, and it moves me every time, and I just thought that might be a good song because the lyrics are just very. It's funny because it's I don't know if Bernie Taupin's. I believe he was American, right? And that was his lyricist. He was his lyricist. Is his lyricist. I assume still. But he was American, right? Is American. I'm sorry, I keep saying was, but is American. Right? I'm not sure. But anyway, the song is absolutely beautiful. I'm sure both of them have spent a lot of time in New York City. And that's a time in 70s history I'd like to go back to. It's the 70s here in the city. I know it would be wild. It would just be wild. Just for a night. I would just love to, I would like to wear a Halston beaded dress, silver dress, with heels. This is a fantasy, so I can wear heels, stiletto heels, and I will somehow have been mani-pedi, and my hair will be done, in a manner. This all with thrifted. See, I'm qualifying, but thrifted, or like you rent the runway or whatever. It wouldn't be like buying and asking for a dress to be made for me. And you could always buy a used dress, and of course you have to make, or sometimes you don't have to make adjustments to it or whatever. But it would be a Halston, that white glitter dress, Halston dress. And I was even thinking with my hair, now, I wasn't even thinking of myself as a 20-something, because I was just so not. I would like to be there now, with who I am now. I would like to go back to that time. And I want to be like Lauren Hutton, wearing that diaphanous gown with the pastels. It's my favorite. I posted it on IG a while back. But who else? Beverly. She's the most beautiful black model. Beverly Johnson wore that, and I should have posted that as well, just because it looked even better on her, to tell you the truth, as it looked on Lauren Hutton. And it looked really good on Lauren Hutton. I wouldn't wear the fur. Though I have to say, it did look good. I mean, it was good, but it could have been fur, and it could have been really done fur. Unless it was vintage fur. Vintage fur, which it could have been if it was vintage. It almost looked like a vintage, 30s jacket. But it was also kind of bolero style. I don't know. If it was vintage, I would have been okay with that. But I have a feeling it wasn't. But it could have been. With that dress on a runway, standing next to and getting my picture taken with Trixie Mattel and Katya too. If she would so desire. Those two. I would have to, I guess, because I wonder who owns that dress, or if it's in a museum somewhere. Maybe here in New York, because it's Halston. Very New York designer. Very American New York designer. And that's what I just, that and Saturday Night Fever. There was some very not good parts about Saturday Night Fever, but that's New York City. That's everywhere, obviously, but, back when it was Welcome Back, Kotter, so I grew up on, and so I had a picture in my head of the city being pretty, and nasty, you know. But also, I try, without minimizing the real issues, the real bad issues that were going on during that time. I don't want to minimize that or whatever, but just that, like the late 70s, Studio 54 time. I would just love to do one night. And for the earrings, I don't know what I would do about the with the glasses. I guess I would just keep the glasses, or maybe get some white glasses. I don't know, or get like, or get. I'm manifesting this to happen. Never running. Ooh, running money will die. Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna manifest that to happen this year. Uh, or at least, I never finished that thing about asking Trixie if she would be into like a reality show when you help burgeoning or struggling YouTube artists or whatever wannabes you want to call it or whatever, or personalities, let's put it that way, personalities. If you know, because she has made such a wonderful success at that, and I like her style, and I like she's, you know, she owns multiple businesses. This woman knows what she's doing. She could like teach a class, but make it like a funny, well, not too well, yeah, make it I guess a reality show, but you could pick like go through like auditions of people's, you know, new YouTube channels. Maybe I don't know if I can reach out to her unless she's following me. But if anybody could get that information to Trixie, that's not a bad idea. And I think I would be a perfect candidate for that show. I really do think I would. I think I could pull you guys over. And I really do. And so I'm going to manifest that this year. And something podcast, I really want to do that. But as far as like, I'm just going to try to be as healthy as possible and take as best care of myself. Eat as well as possible, as healthily as possible. Take care of my mental health, and just do what the animals do. The non-human animals do. They rest, and I know that's so hard in our society because our whole society, the foundation of that is go, 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 progress, progress, progress. Doesn't matter if we're trying to take infinitely what is finite. You know, they think progress is infinite, but it's not. Anyway, I'm going on. And this is what happens to me. Maybe it's convenient on Christmas Eve, though he's in the other room. So, and Lily Ball's here somewhere, just me, but she's here somewhere too. Oh, and I want to show you. I'm wearing my last video. I said that I have this issue where I'll like treat myself to something, but I've been on never, or it'll take me a long time to let myself enjoy it. So I put these on today. That's how long it's been. Well, that wasn't that long. Well, it was since June was here, so it's been a few weeks. I'm not going to hold it. Yeah, I got my roommate got me the horse socks. I love all animals, including horses, and she's a great horse lover. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that I put on my new stickers, my new stickers. I was proud of myself for doing that. Step, people. Just one change, and it changes everything. I'm so high. I think I'm going to go watch The Apartment. And I hope you, however you decide to celebrate and not celebrate New Year's. I don't go out for New Year's. Maybe we'll get a special meal. I don't know. Or maybe I'll just make something for myself and she may not even be here. She may have plans, like me. Or you know, I will not go outside on New Year's Eve. That's not going to happen. So it's going to be quiet, and that's the way I like it. But I hope that anyone who watches this has a safe and happy, joyful, meaningful New Year's. And just be ready. Let's take very good care of ourselves and each other so that we can resist what is being pushed on us that we don't want. You know, we're not separate. We're connected. But I know I keep saying that, but it's just, and I've always kind of felt that way too. And so it's like, it's reading like a kindred spirit, not in a creepy way or anything like that. But he articulated so well many things that I've been contemplating. So, you know, it's one of those kind of books. Anyway, and maybe my book, because I haven't done a book in a while, the Tao Te Ching, and I'll link that below. That Lao Tzu. Lao Tzu. I don't have my copy in front of me, but the Tao Te Ching. I learned about that book through Joyful Vegan, Colleen Patrick Boudreau, and she had recommended this. I think I've talked about this before, the Stephen Mitchell version, and so I bought a used copy of it, and so I was thinking actually before this video, but I was thinking this a couple days ago. I was thinking maybe I'll read that like New Year's Eve to help sustain myself through the new year, the good and the bad, and everything in between, and whatever happens, and just try to live the life I want to live, to do the things that bring me joy and give my life meaning, and that is to help others in some way. And I have a lot of different ideas, but I'm going to stop it for now. And we can get into that now that we're in the new year, 2026. I'm sure it's going to be a doozy. Love to all. Peace.